Today's episode is brought to you by Destiny's Accessories, located inside of A.V. Lopez at 3831 Boca Chica Boulevard in Brownsville. Open Monday through Friday, 10 to 6, Saturday and Sunday, 10 to 4. Destiny Accessories has all the phone and tablet accessories you need, including chargers, screen protectors, wallets, clips, holsters, pop sockets, cases, and much more. Welcome back to Paranormal 956. My name is David.
And he's here with me, guys.
And as always,
once again,
with Bianca. What are we talking about today?
So, Bianca? I don't know, you went on a trip?
I did. I recently went to, I think it's called Quintana Roo, which is a state in Mexico.
Quintana Roo.
Yeah, I guess so. I said it pretty close to that, I think.
No.
So
Anyways.
It's on the Yucatan Peninsula, whereas
Cancun.
Yucatan is in the Gulf.
Uh-huh.
The other place that I'm talking about, where I went, is in the Caribbean. So they're split.
Mm-hmm.
And so I did have a really cool trip. I went to Chichen Itza.
You went for research purposes.
That's right, because there's not a length that I won't go to for our fans.
Right.
To get the stories.
True.
And so, you know, we both grew up Christian, right? And we know about Adam and Eve and the creation story.
True.
Right? And then we both went to school and we learned a little bit of science. Yeah. We learned about evolution, right? Well, I heard the real story.
What?
Yeah. So while I was in Mexico, I had a taxi driver.
Okay.
That was a Mayan.
Mm-hmm.
And he told me the real story. And it has to do with, and I thought you would like this because you like dragons, right?
Do we come from a dragon?
Well, don't spoil the ending yet.
What?
You're
telling me I have dragon descendants?
So, let me start the story. We're talking about Quetzalcoatl. Right? And in the Mayan religion, and by the way, I didn't realize this, and maybe our listeners do, or maybe they don't, I don't know. I didn't realize that there are millions of Mayans still around. And they still speak Mayan, and they still do their old religions. They still do everything.
Okay.
And so me going over there, you know, this is going to be, like, I'm not trying to brag, right? But my Spanish isn't great. Right? My Spanish isn't great. These people that I were meeting in the Cancun area, I went to Tulum, Playa del Carmen, and Cancun.
Okay. For research
purposes, because my fans are important to me.
Right. You wanted the real story.
I wanted the real story, right? And so
even though you don't know how to speak Spanish?
I don't know how to speak Spanish. And the whole trip was really one disaster after another, right?
But you got the story.
But it's worth it for this one podcast.
Right.
This 30-minute moment in time for you guys.
Hopefully it's near 30 minutes, but yeah.
We'll see. I'm like stretching it. So anyway, so I went over there.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize this, but they speak Mayan.
Right.
And then they have to like learn on their own Spanish.
What?
So like Spanish isn't common and it isn't automatic for them.
Okay.
So they have to, you know, like when you go to Matamoros or you go to Progreso and they speak English, they didn't grow up speaking English.
Right.
They had to learn that so that they can be better salesmen or whatever, right? And so this particular area of Mexico, they don't speak Spanish. They speak Mayan, right? Which is a really not even close to Spanish. Like it sounds closer to Chinese than it sounds to Spanish, right? Okay. It's like completely different. So anyway, this gentleman, the taxi driver, speaks some Spanish.
Because he's a taxi driver.
Yeah. And he's dealing with a lot of Americans, like, let's be honest, right?
Right.
And Mexicans, right? Rich Mexicans from other parts of the country go here too. There's a lot of resorts and, it's a fancy place, a lot of places. And so he's telling me the story of Quetzalcoatl, which is this dragon that has feathers that makes the whole world, creates like human. So they got all the gods together. And he was like the best, most genuine, like kind-hearted, everything, right?
Right.
And so they were
Sounds very much like me.
Yeah. And they were like, we're going to need to make, exactly.
Right.
That's why I thought of you.
Right.
Mm-hmm. This is
right. Anyways.
I'm a little bit slow on my buttons today.
Anyways.
So all the gods got together and they're like, you know what? Let's make some people, right? Let's make some people.
Yeah, sounds like a choice I would make.
Yeah. They're like, it's all bored. We're all gods. Like, we need something
to play with.
Yeah. And so they decided Quetzalcoatl's like the epitome of everything good. Let's have him make the people.
Right.
Right. And so he comes down and he starts making people. He starts creating everything. Right. And he's this super wholesome character at the beginning.
Okay.
So he's teaching people how to plant crops. He's teaching them how to build houses. Like
how to survive.
Right. Like to be where we are now. Right.
Yeah.
And so they start building the pyramids. They start doing all this stuff. And he's got like a twin brother who's also, I think he's also a dragon, but like he's not a good dragon.
Okay.
And he's very jealous of
But he doesn't have feathers.
I don't know if he had feathers or not. The taxi driver didn't go into detail about the brother.
Okay.
But he did say that the brother is not a great guy and he's very jealous of Quetzalcoatl.
Like the yin and yang.
Sure. Right. And they're twins, I think, too.
Right.
Right. Which might be an episode we get into later. I don't know. Twins. But.
Right.
So the brother. And
Are you a twin?
I'm not a twin.
I'm not a twin.
That I know of.
Anyways,
yeah.
So twin brothers.
Twin brothers. So one of them, there's this bark on this tree in this part of Mexico that the locals, and they told me this, they take the bark and they boil it and then they just get high as fuck off this tea that they make. Right?
Shit, okay.
And so I was really contemplating bringing back one of those trees.
Right.
Right? I just couldn't figure out how to bring it. Right. But apparently, and these trees are everywhere. Right. Like they gave me, I went on a tour of the Chichen Itza.
They just have like
they're everywhere.
Forest of it.
Yes. Right. It's everywhere. And so the funny thing, the really interesting thing about the Mayan language, right. And again, I don't mean to brag, right. But no matter how you pronounce it, it's wrong. Right.
Right.
And so, I do research. I do research for the show. I do research all the time. I just like to learn stuff, right? And so I had seen on the internet and other places,
TikTok.
Chichen Itza and TikTok. Yeah, let's be serious, right? That's where I get most of my information. But the pyramid pronounced chicken and spelled chicken.
Okay.
Itza, right? And so I did see that. And so I showed up. And when I got there,
you're like, oh yeah, that's a Chichen Itza.
Luckily, I didn't do that, right? But I was ready to say that. I was ready to go.
You were for sure sounded professional.
I thought I was
100%.
I was
you're like,
down.
they're gonna confuse me with a Mayan.
I'm gonna go in. Yes, that's what they're gonna do. They're gonna say I'm one of them. He knows about our chicken, right? I was ready to go, but I showed up, and somebody talked to me first before I said it. Luckily,
right.
And they pronounced it Chichen. Not exactly chicken. Chichen.
Right. You're so like, that's even better.
I picked it up quick, right? Like, I'm going to really sound.
Hey, that's not how you say it.
Right. And so we get on this bus and we're going to Chichen Itza.
Oh.
And the bus also has Mayans on it.
Right.
And the guy asked me and I'm ready. Like, put the spotlight on me. Right. I'm ready.
Ask me.
Yeah.
You're like the pick me type of girl
I'm the nerd on the bus.
I mean, type of guy. Right.
Yeah. I saw what you did there. So the guy's like, does anybody know how to pronounce this pyramid that we're going to? And I'm hands up in the air. I know how to say it, right?
You got the glasses.
I'm ready to go.
Ready.
I saw it on a sign. I heard it already. I'm ready. I heard it from a Mayan.
You replayed it on a TikTok already, like 5 times.
Ready.
I'm one and done.
Expert.
Right.
Right. And so he doesn't pick me.
Obviously.
Right. I guess maybe I was a little too excited. He picks an Italian guy that I'm on the tour with. And I swear this is what the guy says. I swear this is what he says.
What he say?
He says, "It is called."
I was joking.
He's Italian, right?
Right.
It is called chicken pizza. And I'm like, this fucking guy could have picked me. I would have got it right. Like, even when I was wrong, I wasn't that wrong. Right?
Right.
Like, I knew it wasn't pizza.
For sure.
Right? But this guy's like, it's a chicken pizza. Like, no. And then he picks me.
Right.
And I know how to say it because I already heard, right? I went to the gift shop early. Right? I heard somebody say it early. And I said, no, it's pronounced Chichen Itza. And the guy says, the Mayan.
Why do you have to?
I don't know. I turned Italian all of a sudden. Right? I'm doing my hands. It's called Chichen Itza. Right?
We're going to get so much. Anyways. Okay.
So I do. I pronounce it.
So you have some Italian in your blood.
Apparently.
Yeah.
Right? I don't know how I got there.
Gotta ask your mom about that.
What popped up today. So I'm ready to shine. This is my moment, right? And I say, it's pronounced Chichen Itza. Mm-hmm. He goes, no.
What do you mean, no? What?
And I'm like, what? It's pronounced Chichen Itza. And I go, what? He goes, you said Chichen Itza. I'm saying Chichen Itza. Okay. So no matter what you do,
right,
it's wrong.
It's wrong.
Every time. And so even with this Quetzalcoatl, people are going to say I'm saying it wrong already.
Right.
I already know that. Like I said, not to brag, but that's what's going to happen.
For sure.
So anyway, so the brother.
They want to fight, you fight.
Back to the story. Mm-hmm. The twin brother makes this tea and he gets Quetzalcoatl super drunk, high, right?
Not drunk.
High. Not drunk, high. Mm-hmm. So high that he starts doing a lot of stuff that he was going to regret later.
Okay.
So like extramarital stuff with like this dragon is having sex with women. He's like doing stuff, breaking things. He's stealing stuff, burning things. Turns into like a bad guy. He's apparently a bad drunk.
Okay. Yeah, for sure.
Like that's not the way the drunks are, especially drunk dragons.
So let's keep intact that the brother didn't do anything wrong. He just got the brother high. And the good brother is the one doing all the bad things?
Right.
So how is he the bad brother, though?
Well, because he's doing it on purpose.
Who said that?
The taxi driver told me that.
Was he there?
He's not going to lie about this. Like, why would he lie about that?
It's just the first day you met him.
And you think people lie the first day they meet?
Pretty sure.
I don't know. I find it doubtful. Like, I'm already ready to denounce science and Christianity because I'm so in on this story. Right?
Right.
Like, I'm in on this story. Right? So, Quetzalcoatl gets really embarrassed when he sobers up. Mm-hmm. And he realizes all the things that he did and all this stuff. And so he kind of goes into hiding.
Okay.
Right? And it takes like 1,000 years for him to like redeem himself and all this stuff. And so.
Jeez, 1,000 years?
Yeah.
For one drunk night?
Well, it was pretty bad from what I hear. And he had like a pristine reputation too, right?
Sure.
It's not like if I got drunk. Like if I got drunk.
We wouldn't be surprised. They're like, there's it again.
He fucking does that when he's sober.
Right.
You know, so like nobody's going to care.
True.
This is an upgrade with me.
For sure.
You know? And so anyway, so Quetzalcoatl starts to go like.
You're going to have a drink? Go ahead.
I'm over it.
You don't want to be drunk at this.
You started talking about me being drunk, and I'm not ready to drink anymore.
I didn't say you were drunk.
I'm not going to drink anymore.
Anyways.
So, Anyway, so this is something I didn't know about. Do you know what a cenote is?
A cenote?
A cenote.
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 Isn't it the water thingy? Like
yes.
under a cave, or what is it?
So I didn't know what they were exactly.
I was like...
But I figured I learned.
Like pools.
They're like pools, yes.
Yeah.
I think that's a very good way to... So there is one in Texas.
Oh, we do have one?
One that I know of. It's in Austin. And it's called Hamilton Pool. And, and it's the weirdest thing ever because you go on this hike, right? And it turns out it's like a cave.
Yeah,
right?
It's like a cave.
But it caved in.
Yeah.
And so the ground where the water is, it looks like a beach.
Yeah.
But like in the middle of nowhere, right?
Yeah.
So another thing I learned from the taxi driver, I should have got his name because I could have totally done a shout out to him.
Called him, yeah.
I mean, I'm sure it's like...
Do you remember his taxi number?
I know there was a 4 in it.
Fuck.
Right? Yeah. So if you see a taxi...
With a 4.
In the Yucatan...
With a 4. With a 4.
It's probably that guy. I had...
What color was the taxi, though?
White.
Any other colors?
Had red letters.
Okay.
They all look like that. They all look like that.
So, white car.
Red letters.
Red letters. Number 4.
Somewhere in the 4.
Somewhere in the 4.
I don't remember where the 4 was, but it
for
sounds
sale.
Right.
Anyways,
yeah.
Back to the story.
So this is what I didn't know about the cenotes, right? So the cenotes came about, and I was always wondering why they're only in Mexico. Mm-hmm. I don't know any. I know one in Texas.
Right.
And Texas is like half the size of Mexico, so why don't we have more than one?
True.
Right? Turns out, where the Yucatan boot is, a meteor hit there that caused like the mass extinction, right? And when the meteor hit the ground, like pieces of it shot up into the air and it landed into the ground where they had like these underground caves.
Okay.
And so it like burrowed down into the ground to where the water is underground. Okay. And so that's where a cenote came from. Mm-hmm. And so I was told that Mayans don't get in the cenote.
Why not?
They think that they're gateways to hell. Oh. And we went to one. So we went, the first one we went. In? Oh, yeah, I got in there.
You're like, might as well. You're doing the research.
I'm trying to get them to make a Netflix documentary about me. So I am doing reckless things.
To get kidnapped.
So I was hitchhiking in Mexico, right? I went hitchhiking in the middle of the night. I didn't plan on doing that, but I ended up having to.
You were obligated?
So this is what happened. I went to like a theme park. It's a place called Zacaret, right? It's like a natural theme park.
I think you're saying it wrong, but okay.
Probably am. Because I can't say anything right. I'm not trying to brag.
No.
Right? But I'm probably saying it wrong.
Yeah.
But it has like these rivers and it has waterfalls and it has all this stuff. And so you go in and it's, instead of roller coasters, they're like river rides. Okay. Well, not even rides. Like you literally swim the ride.
Right.
Yeah. I thought it was like get on a inner tube and
boat ride. And
no, you're going to swim. Right.
It's not even a bucket.
Not a bucket. There's nothing. There's a rope on the side. If you're drowning, you can grab that. Mexico does things different. Let's just say that. Mexico does things different. Right. I thought it was a ride, and I went in. It's just a river. Just a river that you swim in. But they have cool things, right? So they have like manatees there. They have
like the rope on the side.
They have a rope on the side, right? And they don't charge you for the rope. It's nice. It's expensive. It was really expensive. It was like, if I remember right, it was like $300 to get into this place.
Nah.
But it's like unlimited food, and it was a lot of expense.
All you can get.
Yeah, but I mean, you can't eat there.
In the river? I doubt
it. You can't eat in the river. There's
not
there's a buffet, and you can go
holding the rope.
Yeah, you can't eat while you're holding the rope. There's no way. Right. So anyway, so it's in the middle of Playa del Carmen and Tulum.
Okay.
This place. And we thought, like any theme park, they're going to have taxis. Right?
Right.
Closes at 9. They have a really cool show at the end where people are dressed up like Mayans. and they play the sports in front of you so you can kind of see how it worked.
Oh, okay. Yeah, right?
Yeah. So it's a really cool show. And then they kind of do a celebration of Mexico, which I thought was, for me, it's boring because I live on the border. They played like Tigres del Norte and like all this stuff. And I'm like, come on, like this is stuff I know already.
Yeah,
like,
this is like basic charro days.
I didn't count. Yes. Yeah. So like here in the Valley, like wasn't excited
Sombrero Fest, you see it all the time.
Yeah. I mean, see it. You go to like any restaurant and you're going to get mariachis. They had a mariachi band came out and everybody's like, oh my God, a mariachi. Where'd they find them? It's like, we're fucking in Mexico.
Yeah.
Like it's not that hard to find a mariachi band in Mexico, you know? True. And so it's the very first part where the Mayans are doing the game with like fireballs and it was cool. Right.
Okay.
And so then we get out. It's late, right? It's late. We get out and we go, so where's the taxi? I go, all you got to do is you just cross this two-way highway. Oh. Go to the other side of the highway. And then does your phone have the flashlight? Just flash people. Somebody will stop. Oh. So, yeah. So we hitchhiked back to Tulum. And apparently cocaine's cheap over there because our taxi driver, he didn't tell any stories. This guy was the most intense taxi driver I've ever been. Like he was like both hands on the wheel and like he couldn't see anything. But we were like zooming down the road. And so my wife's like whispering to me the whole time, like, we're going to die tonight. This is how we're going to die. This is how we're going to die. And I'm like, I don't want to hear any of this. Like, I don't want to hear any of this.
Why would she whisper? Like, not like the taxi driver was going to understand. I doubt it.
Also true. True. She could have said it in Spanish. She wouldn't have known.
Yeah.
This guy was cooked up.
He wasn't listening to her.
No, he wasn't listening. Yeah, he could barely keep his eyes on the road. So Netflix, if you're out there, I got stories.
Yeah, he got stories.
And then today,
he got a massage on the trip. He told me about it. This is like the most traumatizing experience he had from the whole trip.
I wouldn't say it was that traumatizing, but it
sounded like it as soon as it happened.
So I went and got a massage. I'm a very ticklish person, right?
They tickled your feet.
I'm like, I never thought I would get a massage, right? But this is what happened, right? Is we were in this resort and they were like, you know what? If you let us pitch you, like, so that you can buy like a membership here, we'll give you all free stuff.
What?
And my wife's like, oh, we're doing it. Like we're into
the free stuff. Yeah,
free stuff. Whatever you want, right? We're going to do
free. Really?
So they made us listen to that. It was like 3-hour speech they gave us.
Ah, jeez.
Right. To buy into this resort, blah, blah, blah. Right. And then at the end, they're like, we're going to give you all massages.
Right.
And I'm like, well, wrong one. Like, I'm not doing massages. Fuck this shit. Right? Like, I mean, I got beaches to go to. I got cenotes to get in. I got
other stuff.
I got food to eat. And Angie's like, after all the shit we've been doing, after that cocaine ride on the highway, I need a massage. My back's killing me.
Right.
And I'm like, all right, let's go. And so for anybody who doesn't know, right? Mayans are very short.
True.
They're like little people.
And David is kind of tall.
I'm very tall.
Yeah.
I'm 6 foot tall. And not only tall, I'm big. Like I'm 250 pounds, 230 pounds. Like I'm a big guy.
Yeah. But if you go missing, we're going to put that you're like 250.
I'm probably going to fatten up because I'm going to eat a lot. But and so I go in, never had a massage before. Right.
Right.
And so, I've been training basically my whole life for Naked and Afraid, right? Like everything that I do is like Naked and Afraid.
True.
Right?
You're so they say going through those experiences.
Yeah. So the lady's
you just gotta get naked.
The lady's like, I want you to get undressed to the level of your comfort. I don't think she should have said that. I don't think she should have. I think she meant something else. She walks back in and I'm completely naked. I'm like, I'm comfortable. I don't know about if you're comfortable, but I'm comfortable.
With socks on.
And my chanclas with my socks on. Yeah, so then she's like, well, okay, all right.
Whatever.
Yeah, I think she's dealt with it before, right?
She's like, all right.
Can't be the
here's
first.
Here's another American one.
Yeah, here's another American.
Yeah.
So Yeah, so she tells me to get on her table. Remember, this is a little person.
Right.
It's like a coffee table. Like, it's super small. Like, I'm like hurting my knees getting down to it. Right. And I'm like panicked. Like, because I have never gotten a massage before this, but I always thought if I did, I would want somebody with like big hands. Right. And this lady looks like she's from like the Wizard of Oz or something, right? Like with little bitty hands. And I'm like, this is not going to work.
No.
This is little bitty tiny French fry fingers, right? Like this isn't going to work.
No.
It ended up being great. I didn't laugh at all the whole time.
You didn't get tickled as you thought it would.
I didn't get tickled at all. She was a little touchy. I didn't know they were going to massage my butt so much, which, I mean, maybe, like I said, Mexico does things different, I guess.
Maybe you were tensed up from the cocaine riot. And she
felt
that.
Maybe she felt that, I guess. Yeah. I don't know. She whispered into my... So this lady doesn't speak any English that I know of, right?
What?
Right? She doesn't speak any English, but she lays me down and I'm, just my butt up in the air, right? And she comes and she whispers and she goes, "You're beautiful." Like, what the fuck? It was like kind of creepy. And I'm like, is that what you're supposed to say to the people when they're naked on your coffee table? You know what I mean? It's like, I've never really identified as beautiful, but I don't know.
But
maybe she saw me like in a vulnerable state and was like, I kind of felt like
maybe she saw your cheeks so tight. She was like,
I need to relax this guy. Yeah. And so
back to the story.
Yeah. So she massaged my butt a lot. And then, like I said, they do things a little different over there, right?
Right.
So then she tells me, she lifts the blanket, like she's got a blanket. She lifts it up, right? And she tells me to roll over. And so I'm not used to massaging, period. And I definitely didn't know they were going to massage like this side of me, like my front side of me. That seemed a little weird too. But like I said, they do things different in Mexico. And so, anyway, when they say full body, they mean full body, apparently. Right?
Right.
Which, I mean, it's free, so I guess. When in Rome.
The membership.
Yeah. So
might as well.
Needless to say, I'm going back next weekend.
For research purposes.
Right.
You need to get the taxi guy.
I need to find the taxi guy.
The coffee table lady.
Yeah, so, I mean, I thought it was going to be terrible, but it actually wasn't that bad.
Right.
And I'm still not on Netflix. And then today I got shipwrecked on a sailboat. So it's like, I'm just waiting. Like, what am I going through all this for? Netflix isn't going to call me.
They should. It shouldn't take that long.
Yeah, I mean, come on. I'm on Facebook.
Might as well.
Yeah, I'll do it. So that's the story of Quetzalcoatl and my adventures in Mexico.
Oh, and the cenotes were a portal to hell.
Right.
They think that it's a portal to hell.
So, we have Amy writing our new...
Oh, yeah, guys. We have Amy and Ivan working with us.
And Amy's been writing our new titles and doing a summary of our show. I'm kind of curious to see what she's going to come up with on this one.
Well, she won't tell us. That's the thing.
No, but it's going to be interesting to see. We'll see.
Yeah, she doesn't talk, but...
Yeah,
she types everything out.
Yeah.
She's a pretty good writer. I'll tell you that.
Yeah. Don't see her too much, but behind the scenes.
She's great. She doesn't argue with us.
Yet.
Right.
So what did you think of that story? I kind of thought I wanted to tell you that story because I know how you like dragons.
Yeah.
And to know that...
But here's the thing. How are you going to tell that the twin brother is a bad one if he just gave him something to drink and he drank it and he was acting out?
So this is...
If he's a bad drunk, he's a bad drunk.
Right. But I think the part that maybe I didn't articulate very well...
You can't really accuse someone of that.
So this is the part that I think I left out. Mm-hmm. Is that, you know how I told you at the beginning where there was like this meeting of the gods?
Okay.
They all have their own stories. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And so like in this world, you know how when you talk about like the Greek gods and there's like Hades and there's like all these other gods.
Yeah.
And like Ares, the god of war and all of this stuff. And some of them are bad and some of them are good.
Medusa and all that. Yeah.
Right. So that brother has his own stories and he's bad.
Man,
so he may not be the worst in this.
Full story.
Maybe that'll be a follow-up episode. I don't know.
I need like a full background story to see like if it's.
I'll be honest with you.
A reasonable episode of you talking shit about him.
Yeah. So I'll do some research. I didn't hear that much about the twin.
Right.
But maybe he's more interesting if he's bad. Right?
True.
Because like when you watch Batman, do you prefer Batman or you prefer Joker?
Joker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you like the bad ones. They're more interesting.
Nah, I guess whatever you want to call it. So are we talking about this too? Or that's for another episode?
Another episode. We need to figure out how to get into the astrology because
I don't know.
It seems like too much.
It's too much to put in one episode, to be honest.
Yeah, so we're going to have to come up with a series of that.
Yeah.
That's it for today. Thank you for listening. Yeah. Like and subscribe.
Share, follow.
Tell your friends.
Tell your friends.
And we will see you next week.
Thank you, guys.
Bye.